Good morning and welcome back to BIFA TV, your daily dose of industry information. Today I'm joined once again by Robert Windsor to discuss the latest update in the review of the standard trading conditions. So Robert, thank you so much for joining me. How are you today?
I'm fine, and thank you for asking me to talk on this subject.
So we've recently covered the review of the standard trading conditions, but in case anybody kind of didn't see that episode, can you just give us a little bit of background as to why we reviewed them?
Yes, certainly. I mean, the standard trading conditions are a living document. They are the forwarding contract between our member and their customer. And we keep them under review all the time. If there was a significant legal case or judgment which, affected them, we would have to consider what that impact is and that. But standard, we keep a 5 to 10 year review cycle. So at 5 and 10 years, we do review them more formally. And this time we feel that it is appropriate to, as the outcome of that review is now to reissue an updated set of the standard trading conditions. And that's the most fundamental reason for this review and the change.
And without kind of going into too much detail, what kind of changes have we made to these?
They reflect, um, in a way, changes which we were aware of at the time of the UK's exit from the EU, and the legislative changes then. And I'm going to give you, there's three subjects which we've looked at in particular. We've looked at indirect customs agent work, the direct customs agent work, and the advent of PVA.
Right, okay.
Also, as members are going to be very painfully aware, the STC, which were written in 1988, were actually very different environment, a very different environment to where we are now.
Yeah, of course.
And there's an increasing amount of uncertainty and instability in the world of trade, and it was felt that some of the clauses were quite liberal way, and it's just really a point in time to bring the trading conditions up with the reality of global trade at the moment.
And then just moving on to kind of the new standard trading conditions that are coming in, what
Mhm.
kind of timelines do we have? So I know obviously we'll have a transitioning period for members, won't we?
Yes, there will be. Basically, we haven't quite finished it yet. We are arguing about a couple of trading conditions and the legal framework. There's general agreement about the broad approach of each one, but we are having to work out the legal text of some.
Yeah.
And one of the things I forgot to answer to say in the last question you asked me about why, one of the feelings has been, and this is solicitor's view, is that we needed to update the language. It was very old-fashioned,
Yeah.
quite legalese, so we want to make them much more readily available
Hmm.
and understandable. When will they be issued? We hope to finish, if you like, the legal text by May, maybe June. We can then issue the new editions and tell all the members, and basically we would set a date, and we usually, on the pattern of this, and looking back at past ways we've handled this, is give members about 6 months notice
Right. Okay.
from the date of issue to they can start using them, and that's really just to give them a chance to make sure they understand it, and of course to start talking to their customers so they make their customers aware of the change.
Yeah, of course. So they've got a 6 month kind of transitioning period.
Yes, I mean it will probably last longer than that, and we'll come on to
Yeah.
that a bit later in the discussion.
Hmm. And I know you mentioned briefly about kind of letting their customers know, but is there anything else that our members should do to prepare for
Yes, I mean, the article looks at this in more detail, so I'm not going to
this?
repeat everything. I mean, the basic thing is the terms are only any use, any value if they've been incorporated in the contract
Yeah.
with their customer. And that means they have got to bring to the attention of their existing customers that they are now going to be trading under the new BIFA STC. And for the sake of this program, I'm going to call them the 2025 edition. It may be 2026 when, in it will be just dependent. And basically, members have got to think about, and there's two things they've got to think about really, is one, when am I going to transition? Two, how do I bring it to my customers' attention? Now, when you transition, I would venture the best time to do that would be at the point that the members know that they have to renegotiate their freight forwarder liability
Yes.
cover,
Yeah.
which is a BIFA requirement to cover the terms. So if they know, shall we say, it's going to be their insurance renews, shall we say, on the 31st of May, they've got to work back to, shall we say, the 1st of March or something, make sure they tell all their existing clients, bring it to their attention, and liaise with their insurance brokers.
Thank you so much, Robert. And of course, we'll continue to update members as and when we have more information on this, won't we?
Yes, we will do. And we do intend to run online events, webinars on this subject. And we will go through the most significant changes. Some of them are only just changes in text, so they don't actually change the law. But some of them will be more substantive, and particularly the areas of customs and areas such as that.
Great, thank you so much. And we'll send communications out to members as and when those webinars have been confirmed.
Yes, but they, I suspect, will be probably September to November of this year.
Okay. Thank you so much, Robert.
Okay, that's my pleasure.
More information on this subject will be included in May's edition of Beef Link, which is coming out on the 1st of May. Thank you so much for watching today's edition of Beef Link TV, your daily dose of industry information.